Hey there, my fishing friends. Your expert angler is back with another crucial forecast, and today we're diving deep into the fishing prospects for January 16th, 2026. This day, my friends, is shaping up to be a classic winter angling challenge across much of the United States, but with some fantastic opportunities if you know where to look and how to adapt. We're talking about a cold, crisp day, but with some interesting nuances that could make all the difference between an empty live well and a memorable catch. Stick around, because I'm going to share some insider tips on how to outsmart those cold water critters and make this mid-January day one for the record books. Now let's talk tactics for some of our favorite winter warriors. First up, for my northern buddies, especially those hitting the hard water, yellow perch are going to be a prime target. Where to find them? They'll be schooled up tight in the deeper basins of your lakes, typically in 20 to 40 feet of water. Look for subtle humps, depressions, or the edges of old weed beds on your electronics. That's where the baitfish are hiding, and the perch won't be far behind. What to catch them on? You'll need to downsize everything. Think tiny tungsten jigs tipped with a single maggot or a couple of wax worms. A small spoon jigged vertically with very subtle twitches can also be incredibly effective. Remember, slow and precise is the name of the game here. Their metabolism is sluggish. For those in areas without ice or targeting larger predators in cold, open water, northern pike can offer some thrilling action. Where to look? Focus on structural elements like deep weed lines, rock piles, or areas where baitfish are concentrated, often in 15 to 25 feet of water. These cold water predators will be patiently waiting for an easy meal. What to catch them on? My go-to would be larger, slow-moving presentations. Think big jigging rapalas, lipless crankbaits, or even a slow-trolled minnow. The trick is to work your lures agonizingly slow, letting them sit, twitching them, and then letting them sit again. Patience, my friends, is absolutely key. And for my saltwater companions down south, particularly along the Gulf and Atlantic coasts, redfish and sheepshead are your winter champions. Redfish will be concentrated in deeper channels, tidal creeks, and along mangrove shorelines that catch the morning sun, warming the water just a few degrees. Look for them cruising or tailing in just a few feet of water during incoming tides. For sheepshead, known for their powerful bite, they'll be gathering around structure like docks, pilings, and artificial reefs in nearshore waters, actively feeding as they prepare for their spawn. For redfish, a live shrimp under a popping cork is always reliable, but cut bait or mud minnows also work well. For sheepshead, use small pieces of fiddler crabs, shrimp, or oysters on a small sharp hook fished directly on the bottom near structure. Their bite is subtle but strong, so pay close attention. All right, let's break down the conditions shaping our fishing forecast for January 16th, 2026. The general weather picture across the United States points to a cold but relatively stable winter day. Temperatures will hover around 21 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit in the morning, climbing to perhaps 33 degrees by noon, and settling into the upper 20s to mid-30s by evening. We're expecting zero precipitation for much of the country, which is great for angler comfort. However, a significant surge of Arctic air is moving through the Midwest and eastern United States, bringing the potential for bitter cold, wind gusts approaching 40 miles per hour, and even over a foot of snow in some higher elevations and parts of the Northeast and Great Lakes. This Arctic blast means dangerous wind chill values, so dress warmly and be prepared for harsh conditions in those regions. Atmospheric pressure is generally stable, with a high-pressure system building, which tends to keep fish a bit more predictable, though still lethargic. The wind will be mostly light from the north or northeast, around 7 to 11 miles per hour, except for those gusty areas I just mentioned. Sunrise will be around 7:20 a.m. with sunset around 5 p.m., giving us about 9 to 10 hours of daylight. Water temperature, as expected for January, will be absolutely frigid across most northern freshwater bodies, often near the freezing point of 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Many of these will be ice-covered, offering prime ice fishing conditions. In deeper lakes, you might find slightly warmer water, maybe 35 to 38 degrees Fahrenheit at the bottom, and that's exactly where fish will seek refuge. In the southern coastal waters, temperatures will be in the mid-70s, still cool enough to slow down metabolism, but far more comfortable than up north. Cold water significantly slows a fish's metabolism, making them less aggressive and more lethargic. This means they'll conserve energy and be less willing to chase fast-moving baits. Now for the moon phase. On January 16, 2026, the moon will be in a waning crescent phase, with an illumination of about 3 to 7%. We're just a couple of days away from the new moon. In fishing folklore, the waning crescent phase is often considered a period where fishing activity can be a bit more capricious. Some anglers believe the bite slows down somewhat after the more intense activity of the full moon, as fish might have fed heavily. Others find stable weather conditions to be more influential than moon phase during winter. Personally, I think it means we need to be more strategic and patient. Considering all these factors, the cold, stable weather in most parts, but with an Arctic surge hitting the east, frigid water temperatures, and a waning crescent moon, I'm going to give our overall bite assessment for January 16, 2026 as capricious to moderate. Fish will be active, but their metabolism will be slow. They will be concentrated in specific areas, mainly deeper pockets near structure or where baitfish are seeking thermal refuge. The key to success will be patience, precise bait presentation, and adapting to those subtle bites. Don't expect a frantic feeding frenzy, but do expect to work for your fish, and you'll be rewarded with quality catches. All right, my friends, that wraps up our detailed fishing forecast for January 16th, 2026. I wish you all bent rods and tight lines out there. May your traps be sprung and your reels be singing. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this forecast helpful. Subscribe to the channel for more tips and tricks. And let me know in the comments below, what are your plans for fishing this cold weekend? Have you had any luck with these winter species lately? Share your wisdom with the community. Until next time, stay warm and keep those lines wet. Ni hosta ni cheshui.